An Eastern Conference Finals preview, maybe. Big time matchup. Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers taking on Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics. And let's just say early, all the stars were out. It's first James Harden kicking his highlight off at the rim. So does Jason Tatum head to the rim with a purpose, and he wouldn't be denied. How about Joel Embiid with the mid-range jump shot? Can't forget about the sturdy Tobias Harris using his left. And the masked man, Jaylen Brown, joining the fun. Just like that, we're tied at 30 in the second quarter. How about this big-time block from Embiid on Smart? And he's a two-way player, doing it for his team in all the ways they need him to be great is Joel Embiid. Who's going to stop that? The answer in the first half was no one. Sixers leading by 6 as we took a break, third quarter. More good Philly ball. Embiid finding Tobias for 3. You got to believe Harris is going to be a big piece to what Philadelphia is trying to do in the postseason this year. So is that guy. Can James Harden finally get over the hump and win one? Embiid, it's like, I got my boys back. Sixers go up by 10. But the Celtics are your reigning Eastern Conference champs, and they're just no longer rattled. An 18-3 run kicked off by 2 threes from Al Horford. And then how about that man? Remember that spot as Tatum knocks down a 3 to end the third quarter. Fourth quarter, Derek White getting to the bucket. Boston now out in front. It's Robert Williams running the floor and being rewarded for its efforts. How about Jaylen Brown with the steal? You got to call it out for Embiid, man. Brown with the finish. The Celtics now up by 10. Philly's not done with 2:20 to go. It's Embiid cutting the Sixers deficit down to 1. And then Joel with the big time block. Tyrese Maxey struggled most of this game, but how about that layup to give Philly the lead? We're tied at 107. 6 seconds to go. Celtics give it to Tatum, and Tatum gives it to the Sixers. No timeouts for Philadelphia. They just got to heave that bad boy. It's Embiid from 3 quarters court. But wait, why is Joel Embiid not reacting like a guy that just drilled one of the greatest game time buzzer beaters ever? It's because he knows the ball was still in his hands when he let it go. That is an absolute bummer of a loss for the Sixers. They lose at home by 3 despite Joel Embiid's 12 rebounds, 5 assists, and we thought 44 points. He'll end with 41 because that 3 does not count. The Celtics improve to 44-17 on the season. Well, for the first time all year, I'm going to go ahead and say this about the Boston Celtics. They are definitively the best team out east and the team that should be the favorite to get back to the NBA Finals. Again, they've been great all year. Be clear about that. But I had always said my preseason pick, the Milwaukee Bucks, when they are right, they're going to be the team to beat out east. And to be clear, I picked the Bucks preseason to get to the finals. I also picked the Warriors out west. I'm not one of those guys that backs away from my picks, so I'm going to roll with it. I picked Bucks Warriors before the season started. I'm not changing my pick, but I have to give it up to the Boston Celtics because of the injury concerns with Giannis and Chris Middleton now. I mean, especially Chris Middleton. I cannot, in good favor and in good conscience, say the Bucks should be the favorite over the Celtics, especially because the Celtics beat the Bucks last year because Middleton wasn't healthy, right? And now when you look at the other premier matchup that we could possibly get in the Eastern Conference Finals, it's these two teams, the Celtics and the Sixers. Look, for some odd reason, Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers are just not making enough plays down the stretch to beat the Boston Celtics. When it gets to winning time, more times than not, you just believe the Celtics are going to make a couple more plays than the Sixers. And I'm starting to believe this is a bad matchup for Philadelphia. Again, a very close game, good game, and you're probably like, yo, FERRO, they lost by 3, and Joel Embiid almost sent this thing to overtime. I get you, but I want you to keep this in mind, all right? This is a big deal, what I'm about to say to you guys. What we've seen from Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown over the last couple years in the playoffs is their game gets better in the postseason. What we've seen from James Harden, especially, and sometimes Joel Embiid, their game comes backwards a little bit in the postseason. Joel Embiid's had some big-time playoff games. I want to be fair to the brother, but he has also had some average subpar games in the playoffs as well. He had the injury concerns last year. So based off what I just saw, it doesn't get any better for Philadelphia than this moment, than this game. They played well. Joel Embiid had 41 points, and they still lost. And Jaylen Brown's pretty much got a broken face. He'll be fine by playoffs. Like, that scares me if I'm a Sixers fan. I don't think my team can play pretty much any better than that. I get it. Tyrese Maxey, struggled from the field, but Harden or Embiid really struggled. They had really good games. Like, Tobias had a good game. You're not going to get everybody clicking in every game you play, in most games you play, actually. The Celtics, though, this is what they do. And I have a track record of recent that Tatum and Brown are going to be really with it come postseason. I think the Sixers need to avoid the Celtics by any means necessary. Again, you're really praying, if you're to be honest with you, if you're Philadelphia, you're really praying that the Bucks slip to the 4 spot because of the injuries. They get Boston in the second round of the playoffs, and you just praying Giannis and Middleton are healthy. I think the Sixers are almost at the point now where they'd be better off trying their chances with the Bucks versus trying their chances with the Celtics. These two perimeter players, these phenomenal talents, are just giving Philadelphia all they can ask for in these games. Down the stretch, perimeter players are deciding the game, and Boston's got the two. Look, the reality of this is a real conversation. The tandem of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown is better than the tandem of Joel Embiid and James Harden. Now, you can figure out what that means, right? But that's what I believe. Does that mean, okay, maybe Embiid's number 1, and then you got Tatum, Brown 2, 3, and then Harden's 4? So you got number 2 and number 3 that kind of balance out one. I don't know. Maybe you think Tatum has surpassed Embiid. Maybe in a playoff situation, Tatum's a little more valuable than Embiid. I'm telling you, the tandem of Tatum and Brown is better than Embiid and Harden, no matter which way you get there. That's the more consistent tandem. The ones that I know ain't gonna let me down are Tatum and Brown.